Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. We're back with Vlogmas day 6, day 5, day 6, one of those two. We are headed to a morning hike. I usually like to hike at least 3 times a week and then try to do yoga 2 times a week. That way I can stay a little in shape. I have different hikes here in LA that I like going to all over the place, either in the city or by the water, in the beach, just different locations to spice it up sometimes. Today I'm feeling like I want to go by the beach. Usually to me, being by water, it's a cleanse, very much needed. So we are headed to Malibu. We're gonna do a little hike. I'm gonna bring you guys along just so you see the scenery and you can spend the day with me. So let's get right into it. Since we're in the car, I feel like why not do a semi-drives with Denise, because I know we haven't done that in a while, and just conversate about what has been going on in outer space. You know, your girl loves staying updated because I have a strong belief that we get directly affected by what happens in the cosmos. We are all connected. I truly believe that, and I feel like we have lived life not as aware of that reality. And within the last few years, I've definitely indulged in understanding, understanding, overstanding, everything that is connected to us internally. So I've indulged in a lot of study when it comes to astronomy, astrology, quantum physics, and all of those majestic parts of reality. And honestly, I do feel like we are in a huge transition, like as a collective, worldwide. And I feel like some of us are still living in our bubble. We can act like there's not these huge world events happening, and we're just indulged in our little like life of whatever career we're in and whatever that might be. And then I feel like there's another collective of people that I've strongly connected towards, especially through social media, thank God, where you can tell that we're all kind of being guided towards the same direction. I know some of you might know, but for those of you who don't know, I made a decision after the pandemic to do a huge career shift, and I decided to retire from entertainment reporting and hosting, and I kind of put acting on the back burner. And I've been working on a few projects to bring to platforms like YouTube, some of it in video form like a podcast, some of it just as actual companies. But all of those things I do keep working on behind the scenes, and they will definitely be coming into fruition soon in due time when the universe decides, because I do strongly believe that they're all purpose projects. They're all projects that came to me during meditation. I'm not really the one calling the shots, though I am, but I'm not. I feel like you work hand in hand with the universe and destiny unfolds. I do believe that we control our destiny to some degree, but I do feel like we strongly work hand in hand with the universe, and then everything aligns when it's meant to. Side note, it's very interesting to me that people here in LA like want to force you to drive 80 miles per hour, and if I'm going the speed limit, they're pissed. They're like so mad at me, and in my mind I think this is the limit. This is the limit that we're supposed to be going, but it's fine. You know what? Yo no me lo cojo personal. I don't take it personal. I let them pass me. Let me show you my view. Why would I want to rush this? I will drive the speed limit and happily do it with this view. And if you guys want to be rushing to wherever you're going, you can go around. Like I was saying, I do feel like, yes, we are in full control of our destiny, but I do think some things are fated. I think fate cannot be controlled by human 3D power. Like, that's definitely a higher power that's calling the shots, and some things are fated for us to go through, and I do think it's all happening for us. I don't think anything is to harm us, even if it might seem so in the moment. I think right now everything that's going on in the cosmos is heightening our transition stage that we are very much in. We've definitely talked on this platform about the age of Aquarius. Literally, people have gotten downloads about what we're dealing with in the current reality years ago. These are monumental times we're in. After the pandemic, the energy on Earth did shift, which means that our awareness shifted. But considering a lot of shifts that I was experiencing in my own individual life, and then observing people around me and what we were all dealing with as like a collective, I had to do research. I've always been that person that I was very much a practical thinker in the past. I just needed the facts on everything. I needed to know like details about the things I was learning in order for me to believe in them. I never took things at face value and just ran with whatever information I was given when it came to any kind of topic. So once my interest sparked in these kinds of phenomenons, like what goes on in the cosmos and quantum physics and energy and like changing your subconscious mind and learning about those things, I very much studied for a few years, and I'm still studying. I'm still a student. I believe I'm going to be a student for the rest of my life. I think we evolve and we change every day. That being said, I feel like when the planets are going through a specific shift, we feel that shift internally. Whether we're conscious of it or not, subconsciously, our vibration is shifting. And we either see it play out in our actual like 3D reality, or we'll just feel it within like our 5D self, which is like your higher self, your spirit, soul level self. Right now, there's parts of the world that are in very tumultuous, I don't know if I said that right, but hopefully I did, times, and it's something that it's like a push and pull for me when it comes to the awareness to have towards these circumstances that are going on in other parts of the world, because I definitely have grown into understanding that we are placed on a side of reality that's very much heaven on earth. Of course, take that with a grain of salt because we're still going through our own challenges, but I do feel like there's other parts of the world that are dealing with challenges that are not even comparable to what we're dealing with on a daily basis. And I do feel like it's a blessing and we should be grateful. And I do feel like we're put on this side on purpose to focus on all the good that's around us and vibrate at a frequency of gratitude and unconditional love. Because I believe in the placebo effect. I believe that you don't need to be next to someone to influence their energy. You can send love, which is the most powerful frequency that exists on the planet, and they will feel it. I remember back when I first got introduced to meditation, I was like doing some research on just the practice. I remember I found out this crazy statistic. I'm not sure what were the exact numbers, but it was something crazy. Like one person sitting in a room meditating and aligning themselves to a frequency of peace and gratitude and unconditional love influenced around 700,000 people in their environment. Like, how crazy is that? How powerful our auras are. And that changed my perspective on so many things, because I realized like we are so much more powerful than we have been led to believe. And I think for a lot of decades, we've been programmed to live life in a very interesting way. And it's not until we awaken from that reality, in another term, becoming aware of the matrix, of the game of Earth. And I definitely feel like I've been going through a process of experiencing that and trying to reteach myself a lot of things, not only about life and this 3D world we're in, but about ourselves, where we come from and how powerful we are, and our essence and our creator, what that is, not who. And it's changed my life. It's changed my perspective on everything I do. It's changed my direction towards my career life. It's changed what I feel comfortable around, let it be friends, let it be environments. I've completely shifted once I started to dedicate myself to that awareness. My advice during these times, it's something that I've been doing to keep myself sane, grounded, and balanced, staying very disciplined with my spiritual practices. It's my routines that I know keep me in flow, whether that's working out, hanging out with specific friends and family that you know have your best interest in heart and you know are aligned with you, your morals, your values. Also staying very close to like my personal relationship with myself. Truly, I'm a strong believer that your most important relationship that you will build throughout your life is the relationship with yourself. We're born alone, you're gonna die alone. Well, honestly, I hope to die with my significant other, like The Notebook. I have this like weird fantasy where like we'll both die together, like our hearts will stop beating at the same time and we won't have to deal with like the despair of losing one another. But that's a story for another day. I am a strong believer that you are your own best friend. Your relationship with yourself is the most important relationship you must have. And that for me has worked wonders. That being said, we have arrived to our hike. So I'm gonna park right now. We're in Malibu, in a actual neighborhood in Malibu. Just because it's a bit safer. I have been taking into consideration my own safety and not going to hikes that I feel are too isolated when I'm alone. Because also, that's another topic. Things have been crazy, especially here in this side of town. There's like a serial killer out in downtown. I've heard so many different stories of just women not being in the safest situations lately. And I usually go on hikes by myself. So I've definitely been taking into consideration the stories that I've been hearing and the advice that I've been getting to just watch my surroundings and where I put myself. So my brother did hook me up with some pepper spray and a taser. So don't mess with me, porque yo lo uso si necesito usarlo. I'll use it. But we're not gonna need that today. We're in a safe place. It's one of the most serene hikes that I do. It just truly puts me in the mental space that I know I strive in. Zen, peace, serenity kind of vibe. That's my vibe. That is the era that I am in, is my calm girl era. I do turn up, but when it's the right time to turn up and around the right people and in the right environment.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
We're leaving the top of the mountain to get closer to the water. But now we're gonna hike down to the other side of the mountain. It's just like the sound of waves. It's like another level of peace. I was on a hike with one of my good girlfriends the other day, and we were over here in Malibu. We were talking about how fun it would be to learn any water activity, and I've been wanting to learn how to surf for like 2 to 3 years now. It's just like a mental fantasy of mine, but when we were in conversation, I mentioned that to her. She was telling me how she also wanted to surf, and she has some friends here that own like a whole like surfing school situation. So we're thinking of making that a goal soon. Maybe next summer if all the stars align. So that would be kind of cool to bring you guys along also, and just that journey, because I'm sure it's going to be very entertaining trying to learn how to surf and then going out there in the water and actually putting it to practice. Being raised in Miami, we were always at the beach every weekend, any day we were off school. So I've always grown up being in water, but now living here in the West Coast, you don't really get in the water. And the only people who actually are in the water here are surfers. I definitely feel like I have siren energy within, maybe a mermaid in my past life. Learning a water activity, it's just on my bucket list because I want to be able to be in there and not only swim but do things. So we'll see. We came down here and now we're following this trail towards the beach. And then I just sit here for a good minute, just meditating.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
hawks are a huge omen for protection and divine guidance. So if you ever catch a hawk in the wild, your angels are sending you a message to not worry. Everything is under control. They kind of have the same meaning as 444, if you ever see that sequence in numerology. Okay, we are nearing the street back to the neighborhood, which is closer to the car. Gotta say goodbye to the beach. Leaving it behind us for now until we meet again. Tired. I get exhausted on these hikes, and I try not to take that many frequent breaks because the whole point in the workout is to keep going. Gotta keep going. Just keep dancing. Do you hear that? I take small little breaks and pauses. We made it. There's my cutie. A little white car in the distance. Oh, I am obsessed with that heart-shaped amethyst. It's literally gorgeous. We just left a crystal shop that's right at the corner of the hike that I just took you guys to. Usually I don't really have much of an appetite in the morning, so I don't really have a meal other than my tea. And then I usually break it with some fruit or a smoothie. So we're on our way to go grab an acai bowl. My order is a bit specific, and I actually got the smallest size they have, but because of my order they sometimes put it in a bigger bowl. Granola and honey in the bottom and in the top. Acai. For toppings I get almond butter, their chia pudding, mango, blueberry, strawberries. Have them drizzle condensed milk and honey and granola on top. There you go. Okay. Yep. 10 out of 10 recommend.